Good news! This is a safe place because there's no coverage of Russian conspiracy, plea deals, Trump fact-checking, stupid tweets, emoluments, an unworthy AG, sucking up to Saudi Arabia and Putin, obstruction of justice, temper tantrums at the G20 Argentina, a $50 million penthouse bribe, or even anything about Melania's jacket. Have a pleasant Sunday. In my last post, This is going to be a challenge, I suggested that staying the course to right this ship of state, to move our democratic wagon in the right direction, will take determination, focus, and sacrifice. That's made more difficult by our historically new insistence on instant gratification. That's what is going to make this a bigger challenge. I'm reading John Meacham's new book now, The Soul of America. Thanks go to LP for the pointer. And I found this in his introduction. In the best of moments, witness, protest, and resistance can intersect with the leadership of an American president to lift us to higher ground. In darker times, if a particular president fails to advance the national story, or worse, moves us backward, then those who witness, protest, and resist must stand fast in hope, working toward a better day. It looks like we might be in one of those darker times right now, but we're getting some traction. Don't be fooled, though, into believing that the prize is won. It took us decades to go this low, and it's going to take a long, hard pull to once again begin to create a more perfect union. Our challenge is to stay the course. The annual Global Climate Report mandated by Congress was just published, and our unenlightened president promptly dismissed it. He made it crystal clear that he doesn't believe in climate warming or human acceleration of it, and he let us know that his gut is smarter than everyone else's brains. His dismissal of the report comes at a time of national devaluation of science, suspicions that climate scientists are on the take, and general distrust of anything and everything that smacks of the establishment. Well, Katharine Hayhoe just isn't okay with that, oddly being a believer in facts and reality. She has plenty to say about global warming, science, and the idiocy of pretending that disasters aren't just around the corner. Watch any of her videos on her YouTube webpage, globalweirdingsseries.com. Be sure to scroll down to the video entitled Climate Change. That's just a money grab by scientists, right? That will answer some of the self-serving blather of denial you hear daily by the knuckle draggers. Regardless, be clear that global warming and human contribution to it don't care if you believe in them. They're happening just the same. And as long as you've decided you want to dip a toe into the warming waters of climate change, have a look at why do we need to change our food system, prepared by UN Environment. Here's a hint. Methane released from livestock poop contributes more to global warming than does all of what comes from the tailpipes of our cars. Larry Kudlow made his chops as a TV financial talker. Somehow that qualified him to become Donald Trump's director of the National Economic Council. Right now, he's putting lots of effort into convincing us that there's no recession in sight. The economy's great, he tells us. Wall Street is happy. What could possibly go wrong? Well, have a look at the piece linked in the written post, and after reading it, come back here and let us know about your confidence in Larry Kudlow's proficiency in accurate economic predictions. Hint, it's terrible. As bad, he's a devoted supply-sider and has been since Reagan. That's the same as trickle-down economics. Exactly how much has trickled down to you over the past 40 years of supply-side lies? And Kudlow thinks that's great. Note, our just passed former President George H.W. Bush called it voodoo economics. He was right. Finally, I have a solution to a couple of our problems, tackling them both in one brilliant strategy. One is our immigration problem, which for some odd reason only seems to be an issue in connection with non-white people and non-Christian people. The other is our need for a lot more firefighters. Here's my solution. It's impossible to fail to notice that the frequency and severity of wildfires in our western states continues to accelerate. And fighting these fires is enormously labor intensive. These fires appear suddenly, and just as suddenly, we have a need for huge numbers of firefighters, and we just don't have enough of these fine folks. The solution to both the immigration and firefighter insufficiency challenges is to give immigrants green cards and training to become firefighters. The green card will remain valid only as long as they answer the call when they're needed, which is likely to be multiple times per year, or they've reached a predetermined age for retirement from the task. We don't have thousands of our citizens clamoring for those firefighting jobs, but new immigrants would be grateful to have them. The result of this program will be that we'll get the help we need to fight our ever-growing requirement for firefighters. The immigrants will become part of our melting pot instead of a solutionless problem, and we can get out of the business of ripping children from their mothers and tear gassing people whose crime is that they want to work to support themselves and their families. The only downside to this plan is that Donald Trump will have to find someone else to hate. Do you think that's nuts? Okay. These are real and demanding challenges, so pen your idea in the comments section of the written post. Yes, really. You and I know that we have to do better than we're doing now, and our leadership in Washington seems to be solely focused on discrimination and hand-wringing. That's why it's up to us. So take a stab at this. I'm Jack Alshuler.